Hi everyone, Michaela Tollison here. This podcast is going to take a deeper dive into the experiences of those with low vision conditions and how occupational therapy plays a role in their plan of care. All of the clients in this series will remain anonymous, but they were willing to have their voices heard through this project. I'm excited for you to hear these client experiences and to advocate for the OT profession. So without further ado, let's get into it. My name is Michaela Tollison. I'm an occupational therapist. How are you today?
Okay.
Good. So I appreciate you taking my call today. Do you have just a few minutes to chat?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So the reason that Corey gave me your information is because I'm taking courses to basically do what Corey does in providing low vision services through OT. So yes, I just have a few questions. I won't keep you too long.
Oh, that's all right.
Okay. So
Uh-huh.
I would love if we could start out by you letting me know what low vision condition you have and how long you've had it.
I have geographic atrophy, and that started with macular degeneration, and so it's at the end stage now. I was diagnosed with macular degeneration 13 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with that diagnosis, and I know, like you said, you've been experiencing it for quite
Mm-hmm.
a few years now.
Mm-hmm.
In general, what would you say has been the most impacted by your vision loss?
Oh my.
I know it's a heavy question.
Everything, yeah. Most impacted. I get out. I like to get out. I'm phasing out driving. I can only drive in the bright daylight and not in the evenings or the mornings. So, and I'm thinking I ought to phase it out altogether because it's just too dangerous. But getting rides, asking for rides, people run and hide from me now. There's very little available in the Loveland area. And there's nothing available between counties, um, Boulder County and Larimer County, and my retinal specialist that I have to see every month for an infusion lives in Longmont, which is just 15 miles away. But there's no, a different municipality and different county, and they have RTD and we don't, and there's just no way to get there gracefully. It's only 15 miles away.
Okay.
I would have to say transportation is the greatest obstacle. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm currently relying on a woman that's with, I can't think of it.
That's okay.
Oh, I can't think of the organization that does things for blind people,
Okay.
charitable thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess kind of jumping back into, you know, what services you've sought out with Insight Skill Center, have they addressed any type of driving accommodations for you or any other options that might be available?
No, well, I have some booklets and stuff that does provide the offerings in town and to doctor's appointments and that sort of thing. But they don't drive to the other city,
Okay.
They have no sanction in that. So it's currently just, it's a black hole.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Except for Uber or something, but that's going to cost me an arm and a leg, every month.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah.
Speaking of, the things that have been most impacted and transportation, all of that, did you know what occupational therapy was before you started receiving services?
Did occupational therapy, you mean, for the low vision?
Yes.
No, I didn't realize that there was occupational therapy for low vision until I got involved. I mean, I've been totally ignorant. I'm
Okay.
glad there is.
Yeah, absolutely. I love,
Yeah.
from an occupational therapy standpoint, I love that we can, offer
Hmm.
services for daily meaningful activities. I feel like that's the most important to keep people
Hmm.
engaged and keep people doing the things that they want to do.
You bet. You
Um,
bet.
but yeah, so since you weren't familiar with OT prior to getting involved with Insight,
Hmm.
was it your eye doctor who referred you, or did you happen to stumble upon them if you were searching for services?
Well, it's kind of all of the above. I
Okay.
don't remember which came first, but yeah. Um, and I have a friend that recommended it and drove me up there
Okay.
to get
Nice.
started. Hmm.
Yeah. Are there any specific things that you feel like OT has really helped with in terms of, continuing to live in more of a familiar environment and, just being able to
Oh, yeah.
participate? Yeah.
They've helped me set up my phone and set up my computer and just so many things around the house here. Um, I just there's what do you call it? Those not video, audio books. There we go. I
Yeah.
got it. And all kinds of reading materials that um, the newspapers and that you can call into and have them read. There's a recording that reads them. All of that kind of thing really is helpful, and I appreciate that help. I would never have known all these fancy things for the phone and the computer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. There are, a lot of resources out there and they're just continuing to develop, which is
Hmm.
exciting.
Hmm. We did the computer just recently, and with the voice reading the daily, the news articles and
Mm-hmm.
all that. And I really feel like I've become connected again to what's going on and what's happening in the world. So,
Yeah, good.
yeah.
Do you have another appointment or session scheduled right now with Corey, or is it up in the air?
I don't have one scheduled at the moment. She called not just days ago. I mean, recently, very recently, and we talked about exactly that. And so we've left it open ended. I'm still in kindergarten with the computer and the phone now and the setup. So, um, but we'll get back together
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely. I would definitely
Hmm.
follow up with her just to make sure you feel
Sure.
supported. Because, our goal from an OT perspective is really making sure that we create as much independence as possible
Uh-huh.
in the home environment.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Well, she's helped and given me a lot of advice in that. I've made a small apartment kind of in my big
Okay.
house.
Yeah.
I want to stay here. I think it would be my best interest to stay here. I couldn't live anywhere else cheaper, that's for sure. And but just so that I don't have to worry about the rest of the big place, I just made my
Yeah,
an apartment. Yeah, and that's my living area here. So,
that certainly makes sense. And, I
mm-hmm.
don't know how long you've been in the home that you're in, but that
Yeah,
is part of what the research says is, it's a lot more successful to age in place where you're at
I think
versus,
so.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, she mentioned that there's like motor memory of your environment as well
Yeah,
as.
absolutely. Yes, I think the main goal, as much as we can, we want our
Mm-hmm.
clients to age in place. So,
Right.
yeah. Um, so with all of that being said, do you think that in the future or, maybe you've already recommended OT services to others that you know with visual
Oh,
impairment?
yes. Yes. No one in particular. I don't know anyone else visually impaired
Okay.
to the extent that I am. But I have mentioned and talked about all the things that they've been helping me with, and I really appreciate that. So I mentioned them several times to many people. So
Yeah.
but yeah, not anyone. I don't know anybody else with low vision like this. So.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think even if you're mentioning it to friends or family members, I
Mhm.
think spreading the
Mhm.
awareness so that people know that
Mhm.
OT is an option for low vision.
Mhm.
That's part of why I'm doing this whole project, is to really bring to light,
Mhm.
the options that we do have. Because I think, vision
Right.
is our primary sense that we use to explore the world. And
Yes.
when that starts to go, people, obviously and rightfully so, get scared and worried about their independence. And
Boy, do they.
mm-hmm,
I
absolutely.
just I was terrified. I totally. What do I do when I can't see? Just open the door, scream help, and hope somebody hears. I mean, what do you do? It's
Yeah.
a daunting thing to be in that position. Um, Interesting. Well, I don't know if it's interesting or not, but um, I was here through COVID. The 3 years and kind of homebound and stuff. And after we were all opening up a bit, my son came over for whatever, I don't know. Light was burnt out in the hall or somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
bathroom maybe. And he hollered about, "Do you have light bulbs?" Yeah. And then he turned around and said, "This one's burnt out too," in the hall. And well, I just found another one that's burnt out. I mean, I was living in the dark, not dark, but light bulbs didn't matter to me. Everything's dark.
Yeah, I could see
So,
that.
and but I mean, since the time, and again with Corey's recommendations, I've had electricians in to bump up the lighting and everything, and it's like my friends have to wear their sunglasses
Mm-hmm.
inside my house now.
Yeah, because the light's
But
so
I
bright.
never knew these kinds of tips and helps were available.
Yeah.
I was just terrified. Like, what do I need to know? How do I find out about? What do I need to find out about?
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yes, it's a very valuable, yeah,
Yeah,
or suggestions and stuff. Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that you've had a positive experience with it. And,
Mm-hmm.
that's our hope, is to just continue to bring awareness to this
Oh,
option and,
yes.
help
Yes,
clients as much as we can. So
exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
glad to hear that you've had a good experience with it.
Thank you. I have. And I'm looking forward to continuing that too.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Um,
Mm-hmm.
well, yeah, like I said, I didn't want to take too much of your time. That was
Okay.
all the questions that I had for you. Um,
Great.
so, yeah, I appreciate you taking the time today.
Well, thank you very much and good luck with your project and your career.
Thank you. I appreciate it.